You know, as I lie here, or sit here, or just loaf around the house here, I start to partake in my favorite pastime, which is reliving the glory days of my youth by watching old TV that nobody watches anymore, mostly because you can't. Let's see, what did I binge today? Little Hey Arnold, little Recess, little Ed, Ed and Eddie, a whole bunch of shows that when I was a kid, I thought I would be these kids and grow up to be something successful. Didn't happen. Anyway, I'm your host, starbeastrave, here once again with too many sevens on a lake.
It's me. Hello.
And a bunch of demons in a grocery store. Say hello.
Hey, everybody.
And we're here to talk to you about a bunch of nostalgic TV because who is it nowadays?
Nostalgia is our bread and butter, and so is everybody else's, apparently.
Oh, sure. But you know what? You know what's funny about all those nostalgic kids shows is that they, in fact, did have a lot of kids in them. And I always thought, you know, if I watched this as an adult, would I like it any less? No, turns out I don't. I like it even more as an adult because now I get all the jokes they tried to sneak past us as kids.
We get the nuance.
It is,
we actually appreciate the adult moments, you know.
It is actually insane how many sex jokes there are in Hey Arnold that I just completely missed. Seriously, the amount of jokes relating to, like, sexual puns is just insane. And, like, I mean, not really so much in Disney Channel shows like Recess for obvious reasons, but, man, Nickelodeon really like to put in those jokes. It's just insane. But no, actually, my all-time favorite pastime when dealing with those kids shows, what would these kids grow up into, you know? What kind of adults would these happy-go-lucky, weird-ass children become? And I started with Hey Arnold, and Hey Arnold's a little sad.
Oh, I can imagine.
You mean
and
the show or what he becomes, you mean?
Oh, what everybody becomes. And you know what's funny? Hey Arnold actually dabbles in that. Hey, there have been lots of future what-if episodes of Hey Arnold, like what would these kids be grown up? And they're all mostly just for fantasy, but here's what I always thought. Helga, you know what? I'm going to save Helga. I'm going to save Helga for later because she's a little... Phoebe, her little sidekick, the cute little Asian one, Phoebe, she would probably be the president's aide. Can't you just see that? She would be the president's aide. Think about it. Uncredited, unappreciated, constantly working for the president, and just taking none of the credit for herself and constantly rushing around and doing shit. I can see her being an unhappy president's aide. I don't know, the President Mr. Green. Let's say the butcher, Mr.
Right.
Green. Mr. Green became
president. He would go
president.
into politics and win.
Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I see Phoebe as the president's aide. Successful, but completely underappreciated, and she'll most likely have a heart attack because of how hard she works. Now, Sid. Remember Sid?
Yeah.
Sid would be a drug mule.
Oh, my God.
Think about it. He's obedient. He doesn't question people, constantly submissive to anything strong, a little cowardly, doesn't mind transporting, and he has, actually, you know what's funny is he does kind of play the drug mule in the show. Every now and again, Gerald needs something, and, like, he delivers it, like, in secret. So, yeah. So Sid would be a drug mule. Most likely die. Maybe... And actually, you know what's funny is there is a kid mobster. There's Big Gino. You remember him?
That's right.
So,
little kid mafia in that show.
Yeah, a little mafia kid named Big Gino. And he would grow up and become an actual mafia don, and Sid would most likely serve him until he eventually died.
You've served me well, Sif. You know, I want to promote you to Runner Boy.
No, they just kill him because, who knows, why not? He's expendable. Harold, after, you remember Harold, the big
Everybody
the big fat
remembers
bully of the
Harold.
group. Harold, and Howard, don't get me wrong, I love Harold, but he would eventually pursue his lifetime dream of being a chef or a butcher or whatever the hell he was in that one episode. And then, you know, they always say never trust a skinny cook, so he would retain his bulk and his weight, most likely due to gangrene or some sort of other heart condition, most likely die while cooking and eating his own food. Possibly 10 Mr. Fudgy bars at the same time. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, in the ruins of his
But
establishment because he kept eating his own food.
The Jolly Ollie
I
Man
foresee
would
an
enable him.
obesity.
Jolly Ollie Man would
Yeah,
constantly
oh,
be
no.
competing with Mr.
No.
Fudgies.
Oh, no. The Jolly Ollie Man's later. Okay, he's got his own thing going on. But yes, he does supply Harold with the thing that will eventually kill him. Let's see. Stinky, you remember Stinky? He's the Southern joke.
Stinky.
Oh yeah, Stinky Peterson. Well, after experimenting with biker meth, probably from his pappy.
You're not holding back.
Stinky tried to be a farmer, but he realized there's not a lot of money in farming unless you kill at a farmer's market, which he doesn't have the smarts for. So after experimenting with his daddy's biker meth, he would go on the road to sell a different kind of vegetable after growing it in his yard. And unfortunately, it's not legal in New York, so, sorry, Stinky, but you're going to have to go to PS 118's jailhouse district.
Man, you are mean.
I told you, man, this stuff is bad.
Well,
Hey Arnold gets dark.
I'm curious now. What do you
Arthur is a lot happier.
What do you say happens to Eugene?
Oh, yeah.
Eugene?
Provided he survives.
Eugene. No. Well, see, that's the thing. Eugene's dead. Sorry, but Eugene does die after trying to save 13 black cats from a bunch of falling step ladders, and he gets destroyed by a bunch of nuns with a dynamite factory in the back and blows up and dies. He's dead.
Well,
either that or he just gets really, really depressed and, I don't know, falls down a manhole or something. It's happened before.
All the Final Destination stuff happening to him, he would be dead before he gets depressed.
Yeah. Eugene's final destination did come fairly swiftly. Right after graduation, in fact. But yeah, so there's that. Let's see. Who else?
Rhonda.
Rhonda actually grew up to be very successful.
Well, somebody had to make
And here's why.
Yeah.
Well, now I was just going to say, not only is Rhonda a trust fund baby, but she actually has shown to be very savvy. She's one of those chicks that can, step on other people in just the right way so that she doesn't get hurt herself. I don't know. I just see her being very successful. She seems like the right kind of, manipulator with a silver tongue to get really high up in fashion and or, I don't know, makeup. She seemed really into that. So, yeah, Rhonda's going to be okay. Now, her best friend, Nadine, that's a different story. Y'all remember Nadine. She was the animal lover with the spider hair.
Oh, yeah, she had a bug collector.
Poor Nadine. Oh, she did, and that was the source of her demise.
Wow.
Oh, I said it. Anyway, Nadine, after getting in with the Salvation Army and going around the world and studying rainforests and crap, she went to check on one of her most favorite animals, a venomous tarantula, bird-eating spider, whatever. And the rest is history.
So she basically was an American Crocodile Dundee.
They never found the body.
Oh.
They only found the hair. They only found the hair, and Rhonda was devastated, but she got over it really quickly when she was invited to the President's Ball, which was organized by Phoebe. Anyway.
What about my man Gerald?
Oh, Gerald. Oh, Gerald. Oh, Gerald. Gerald's actually okay. Gerald tried to be on a sitcom. He tried to be one of those personalities that gets on a game show. But then reality quickly came up to him and said, "Hey, game shows aren't successful anymore." So he tried a string of odd jobs, tried to become a personality, and now he's on the radio telling urban legends. It doesn't pay much, but he's got a swinging bachelor pad. He's doing okay.
I kind of picture him with that mustache from the game show host guy. Was the one who read the wrong title card for the movie or something? What was his name?
I don't know about that, but he did try to emulate Steve Harvey by growing a fine stash.
Steve Harvey, that's it.
Yes, well, he realized that Steve Harvey was one of few game show hosts that was actually successful, and he realized, I can't compete with that, Arnold. I can't compete with that. And so he decided to just, tell urban legends over the radio. He's doing okay. 1-bedroom apartment. He's doing all right.
How old are all
these
people right now? When you're
mid-40s. Some of them less.
Oh wow.
Some of them a lot less. Some of them considerably less. Like Lila, for example.
Because they're dead, yeah.
No, Lila's not dead. She's just dead inside. You see?
All those years of being happy
after
the emotion from her.
Pretending to be happy. You see, she realized that her life was a lie. And she fell into a great, deep philosophical depression when she realized that Arnold was the best she was going to do, and she said no to him. So, after a lot of alcohol and a lot of buying crap on eBay, she fell tremendously into debt, went insane, homeless routine, and now she's in PS 118 sanitarium division. It's very sad. Poor Lila.
I don't imagine her being like a
So that's
cat
what happened.
lady. Remember the cat lady from The Simpsons? I just imagine Lila turning into that.
That's very possible. She did, she could have very much had a cat. Maybe, I guess, a security animal. I guess they allowed her to have one of those. But yeah, poor Lila.
I think that's all the young ones except for Arnold himself, right? Or am I
What about
missing somebody?
Helga? Yeah, Arnold and Helga we're saving for.
We should do her last,
Helga.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Helga. Yeah. Arnold is nowhere to be found.
He disappeared. What?
Arnold just disappeared. No one knows where he is.
Still the tri-state area,
No
maybe?
one. No one knows where he is. Some people they're questioning Pigeon Man. A lot of people are being questioned. Sewer King, Pigeon Man, Stoop Kid, they're all being questioned. But so far, no one's found Arnold yet.
I think he changed his name and became a celebrity of some kind. Probably a musician.
See, that's the thing, though. Arnold has no last name, so...
Like in the Jungle movie, they reveal Arnold's last name.
Shut up! That didn't happen! That did not happen. He does not have a last name. He is just Arnold.
Whatever you say, short man.
Yeah. Oh, Grandpa's not dead,
he's
by
a
the way.
zombie.
For those of you wondering out there.
Jesus.
No, not a zombie. Both Grandpa and Grandma got into that head in a jar crap from Futurama. They invented that. So now Grandpa is in a head in a jar, and he's right next to Pookie, and they're just kind of doing their thing all day. Wow. Hey, short man, at least you still got a body. Sack of money.
I wonder, what happened? Let's talk about some odd characters. I mean, not the main ones per se, but whatever happened.
Oh, you mean every other character? Yeah.
Which one?
You mean every other character? Yeah, let's do
That's some of our favorites. I mean, I want to know what happened to Dino Spumoni. That's what I want to know.
He's dead. He's dead. Dude, the dude was old in the show. He's dead now for sure.
Oh, he didn't get like one of those jars singing in like casino.
No, you see, the thing is, he, like I said, he fell really on hard times, and he didn't have enough money for head jarification. Yeah, but Grandpa, he knew lots of eccentric rich people, so he got in on that.
Lucky.
Yeah, Dino just doesn't have the connections he used to have, so he's dead. His partner Don is still alive, though. He pisses on Dino's grave every now and again. That happens. Yeah, he's happy to do that. He's happy to do it. He's old, but he still does it.
Let's see, what else was out there? What about the pig?
Abner?
Oh, the pig. They ate him.
Pigs don't live.
Yeah, I was going to say, pigs don't live that long, and hey, he's got a pig, you're going to eat
Not my
him.
fault your friend is potentially delicious.
Well, who ate him?
His bacon was excellent. I mean, Stinky's family ate Lurky the turkey in that one episode. There's no reason they can't eat Abner.
Dark.
Holiday pork chops on the 4th of July.
This was a dark show even before we came up with all this.
Oh, no, it's just the aftermath is what's dark. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of characters, and they all have fun things. But only Rhonda ended up good. Everyone else just kind of went their own way.
One more before we get to the big one of Helga. What about her family? Okay. What happened to her parents?
Yeah, Bob and Miriam.
Oh, well...
Big Bob, yeah. What happened to
Bob?
Big Bob?
Well, Miriam is still on the... Miriam is still drinking smoothies. Though now that the show's grown up, they can finally call them what they are. Margaritas. Because we all knew what that was.
Mommy needs her medicine. Yeah, we know what medicine is.
That's correct. That's correct. Mommy needs a smoothie. So yeah, she doesn't know who she is half the time, but she's still around. Big Bob went out of business because no one uses fucking beepers anymore. Yeah, Big Bob had a really hard time accepting smartphones, and actually cell phones in general, getting advanced.
I hate technology,
And
Miriam.
after the beeper market crashed and... Yes. What the hell are smartphones, Miriam? I need a smoothie. So anyway, Bob was forced to work in a fast food joint to make ends meet, but that doesn't pay very well, so they had to move to an even smaller apartment in the city. And, we don't see much of Big Bob anymore, mostly because he's outside of a smartphone emporium, and he's wearing one of those big foam suits, encouraging people to buy a big Verizon, like a Samsung Galaxy phone, whichever one's most embarrassing. He works for iPhone and he works for Samsung, so times got hard on Big Bob because no one uses beepers, Bob.
All right. Let's get to the main one. What happened? God forbid, to Helga?
Oh dear God. Well, after Arnold disappeared, you can imagine that wasn't easy on Helga because of her condition. Helga, for those of you who don't know, makes shrines to Arnold in her closet with his body parts, with hair and gum and even earwax. I'm not even kidding. So she's kind of made her own guerrilla Get Arnold squad by hiring mercenaries and terrorists to find him. She has taken the lives of several in a pursuit. She still has the shrine, and she takes it with her, and she worships it regularly.
Yeah, keep in mind that when the show came out, this was presented to the viewer as cute or romantic. It is neither.
Yes. Yeah, Helga's behavior. Helga has, on several occasions, broken into Arnold's house, watched him strip naked, built shrines with his body parts, written creepy-ass fan fiction about him almost obsessively, and written songs, poems, and yes, performed a ritual with a giant version of his head.
Again, none of it cute.
No, this was disturbing even back then. God, can you imagine if Helga was a boy? Fuck, that would not go over well.
To be fair, and I say this, like, I think the creators intended Helga to be that metaphor, you know, not so much as condoning this, so much as, like, if this was a boy, you would all be calling us right now.
Without condoning or condemning. But anyway, yeah. That's Hey Arnold for you. All the kids ended up, except for Rhonda and Gerald, which ended up okay. But everyone else just kind of ended up.
Yeah, a lot to talk about at the 40-year school reunion.
Yeah, well, those that lived. Those that lived to see PS 118's 40-year reunion. Oh, by the way, Mr. Simmons is dead, too. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about another show. What's another kids show that y'all like that had a bunch of kids in it?
Dexter's Lab was one of my favorites.
There's so many.
Recess. I love
Recess.
Recess. Recess. Let's talk. Oh,
yeah.
God, do I have things
That's
about
another word where
Recess.
they
Those
end up.
kids. Oh, Recess is so much fun. Oh, because there's so many unique characters. I mean, yeah, you got the main 5 or 6, but oh boy, the rest of the kids are just so much fun.
Oh, man. That's a show with people that were going places. I just don't know what they are.
Well, I mean, it really depends. You know Mrs. Finster's little lackey, that little asshole that everyone hates? What's his name?
Randall.
Yeah, Randall. Little Randall, the guy that looks like Gollum if he had red hair. Well, Randall really had nowhere else to go except his current career path, which is being a suck-up and a snitch, which is what he did. Randall became a police snitch.
That's so perfect.
He's dead now. Randall was the first fatality.
He got his stitches for being a snitches.
I was just going to say, for those of you who've ever seen Parks and Rec, you know that snitches get stitches. Well, Randall got a bullet to the head. Mrs. Finster was the only one to show up to his funeral, and even then, she forgot who she was. Mrs. Finster, as you may know, she got dementia. She doesn't think too much about the past, but she sits in her cell, her assisted living space with her colostomy bag and her, records. She just sits around, grumbling the names of the kids that were somewhat memorable.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask. This is not one of the main characters, but if I'm honest, this is one I'm most curious about. What happened to King Bob?
Oh, King Bob. King Bob actually realized that unconstitutional monarchy is not a thing in the United States. That revelation hit him pretty hard because he actually started paying attention and realized he couldn't keep the king shtick going his whole life. So King Bob got into politics, believe it or not.
Did he become president?
He started off small. No, he did not become president. Bob became a state senator. For those of you who don't know, that's not very important. But he still wears the crown. Every now and again, he takes it out and he goes on a Senate run. He's been reelected 3 times, so you know he's doing something right. But yeah, King Bob, his irony is that he went into democratic politics after realizing that kings aren't a thing here. And now he's reached the great height of one of the, 5th or 6th or 7th seats in American power. That's just great. Yeah, great job, Bob.
Good for you.
All hail Senator Bob.
May your children be the kings of the playground as well.
Oh, he had a vasectomy. He can't have children. King Bob was worried that his children would usurp him. So he decided it was best to, kind of get out of that arena.
Just like
so,
immediately
Bob
after
was,
5th grade was over, he got the voice actor.
In one moment, you
Correct.
turned it into a
Yes.
Shakespearean drama. I love it.
It's correct. I mean, Bob was a scared ruler, much like Mussolini or, Stalin before him. He was afraid of usurpers so much that he actually, deleted his own man tackle. So, again, you got balls, Bob. Oh, wait, not anymore. You got guts, Bob.
All right.
You got guts.
Well, in that case, going back to the main ones, here's my prediction. I mean, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think that Gretchen and Mikey are the ones that did all right. Ashley, Spinelli, Spinelli.
Yeah.
Spinelli, you don't call her no Ashley.
Sorry.
We had a whole episode saying that you don't call her Ashley.
I know, I just never listened to it much, but yeah, Spinelli.
How
Spinelli and
dare you?
TJ probably are the ones that ended up horribly or not well, at least. Gus, I can't decide.
Well, I will tell you. Well,
yeah,
I can tell you this. You are right about one thing. Mike did okay.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Mike did okay. Yeah. Mike actually became Guy Fieri.
What?
Fat white guy with a dumb white haircut, and he goes around loving food.
Oh, wow, that actually would fit.
Yeah. Mike actually changed his name and became Guy Fieri.
Oh. Well, good for you, Mike.
And now he goes around. I mean, like I said, anybody who knows about his career, he did pretty well for himself. So, way to go, Mike. Your fatness paid off. You were the butt joke, but now you are the food joke. Great job.
All right.
And as for the rest, well, where do I start? Give me a name. Spinelli, after realizing her feelings for TJ, and after what happened to him, she realized that she couldn't go on. So, well, she got into some things. She met some bad people on the wrong side of town. Joined a street gang. Got arrested. Did things.
I imagine her being in an underground fight club. Just venting all of her
And
anger at the people who she was matched up against.
And after that, she became a counselor. Yeah, Spinelli actually became one of those intrusive counselors that comes to your school with a bunch of performers, and they perform like don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol sketch shows. She hates every second of it. It's living hell. But she has experience. So she has to plaster on a fake smile and tell the kids not to smoke or drink or do alcohol or, do drugs, none of that crap, or else they're going to end up just like her. Her life is a waking nightmare full of children that are bored at assemblies.
I bet she smokes a lot too, then.
Yep, she does. It's the only thing that helps her deal with her drinking problem. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so after a particularly hard stint in juvie, she just went on that path, but she makes good money. With the troupe of the butt out troupe.
I'm sure it helps her to sleep at nights sometimes. What about
Cordova.
Gretchen? Did she, cure cancer or, win a Nobel Prize or something?
No. Gretchen actually reenacted Breaking Bad. You see, what's funny about Gretchen is she was very smart. She remained that way. But when she graduated high school, she underestimated the value of a good computer tech science degree. She thought that she was set for life. It turns out she wasn't. She quickly realized how much university costs, and she didn't quite have the buckets to make that happen. So, using her knowledge of chemistry, and after hearing some rap videos about how to make it, she decided that she talked to Miss Finster. Miss Finster actually had connections. Miss Finster actually knew an underground array of older adult people that they partake, and Gretchen knew the chemistry. So she created. I mean, it wasn't blue or anything, but she created some decent stuff. And here's where TJ comes in.
TJ, we need to cook.
TJ was the dealer. So it was actually a three-way Breaking
I don't
Bad.
even question it. He looks like TJ was always one of those kids that I felt like, you grew up to be that guy who hangs around school when you're 29 or 30 something, and like, oh, remember the good days. Oh, I need them.
He kept getting he kept getting kicked out because he was hitting on the cheerleaders. But after he realized he couldn't do that for the rest of his life, he became their dealer.
Yeah.
He still shows up to reunions, even if they're not his. But yes, he does. He calls up the kids every now and again, his old friends, his old mates, and he calls them up and says, "Hey, you want to get high? You should taste Gretchen's new batch. Miss Finster swears by it. It's tender."
You.
And his business is called This Stuff Womps. So yeah, that's what Gretchen and TJ were up to. Gretchen cooks, TJ deals, Miss Finster provides the connections. It's very sad.
That is a sad bunch.
Wow.
On a plus note, they haven't been caught yet.
Well, then confirm this. Did Gus go to the military? Because I always got that impression.
Gus died in Afghanistan.
Oh, shit.
Bill, sorry, Gus.
Yeah, he actually, it's amazing. He did great in boot camp. He did excellent in boot camp. He was a top soldier, motivated by his daddy. He just went in there, top grades, top scores, top recommendations from all of his sergeants and supervisors. He got in there, got his piece, got in the war, and then he tripped over a ditch and died.
Well, ain't that sad?
Poor Gus.
Poor little Gus.
If only he could see it coming. But his glasses fell off and he tripped.
What about Vince? Did he
Never invested in contacts.
Vince tried to get into the NBA as he wanted to. I believe that was his dream in the show, was becoming a professional athlete. Now, he did try to get into the NBA, came close, didn't make it. So now he teaches basketball at a community college.
One day you can be a dreamer too.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, did you know I was supposed to be Kobe Bryant?" Fucking politics.
Coach?
He lives in constant... Vince lives in constant frustration every day. He soon learned that he was not invincible, as he claimed to be.
That is a...
Yeah, he learned that getting into a pro athlete position is actually quite difficult unless you're a 8-foot tall giant with a reach of over 10 feet. But, such is life. Anyway, I think that takes care of the main cast.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of the principal, I think that is the main cast.
Oh, he's dead.
Quickly died.
He's just dead.
Again, I mean, just like Dino Spumoni, the dude was like 50 in the show, so by this time he would most assuredly be dead. Finster's alive, though. The meth keeps her alive. Like I said, yeah, Gretchen really knows her chemistry. She reversed Finster's aging process, and man, did she do a good job there. Yeah, but the principal's dead. There's no question there.
If we're talking about...
And so is that superintendent, played by James Woods. He's dead, too.
He's getting there.
We're
He's
roughly
getting
the
there.
same age.
The fate of all James Woods roles.
Yeah, James Woods. I mean, he was funny, but, he had it engraved on his gravestone. "I win, prickly." The evil laugh is inscribed on there. I think...
If we're looking at other shows from that era that had characters that I feel like, you might want to wonder, what happened to these guys? Did any of you watch Rocket Power growing up?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It was a god-awful show, but you know what? It's one of those, it's awful, but I can't stop watching it because...
The Klasky Zupo art style always draws me in.
Yeah, it had some good life lesson moments too,
But it's so ugly! Don't get me wrong. I like Klasky, but fuck is that show butt ugly. Every character looks like a tumor. It's just amazing. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but every character's chin and forehead, it just looks like they all got elephantitis. God damn it. Otto, get that chin lanced.
That's me, man.
I'm sorry, but it's true. Every character, Squid, Good Lord, Sammy's body, he looks like one big giant amorphous blob. I know he's the fat kid, but jeez.
He's a really fat kid.
Anyway. But yes, to answer your question, I did watch Rocket Power. A lot, actually.
It's a great show. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just
it was my
remember
only...
through the kids' glasses of my childhood, but I remember liking it.
Well, I liked it too until I realized, oh my god, I'm watching a show about sports.
Yeah, it made you forget it. That's what I mean. That's amazing.
But they were extreme.
Especially...
Well, to be honest, I didn't watch for the sports. I did watch because some of the characters were genuinely funny. Like, I can never get enough Tito, personally.
Yeah.
Tito's awesome.
Tito and Raimundo. I like Raimundo.
Raimundo is funny because he's trying so desperately to be anything but white, but he is in fact white.
Was he? I was
it's
never
like,
clear
dude.
on that.
Oh, he's white. He's a white ass man.
That's fair. I mean, I grew up watching it in Spanish, so maybe that's why I was more confused about it. But yeah,
when he takes off his shirt, he's white. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was alluded to that Reggie and Otto's mom was of color because, come on, they're brown.
Twister was Latino. I mean, Twister Rodriguez. Come on.
Yes, he was. Yes, Maurice had a Latino family. This is correct.
They had a Cinco de Mayo episode, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know, but like we see a lot of Twister's family, and his family is all very like.
I can confirm that he is
traditional.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, I knew from his mom and his dad, they speak Spanish every now and again.
But the funny thing is, watching the show, I remember I always thought of like the Rocket family as not Latino, but like maybe mixed because they definitely had some of that going on.
Well, Reggie and Otto are definitely mixed. I do think that Raimundo is white because the voice. I'm sorry, he sounds white, and when he takes off his shirt, damn. But I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, Raimundo is certainly not a white name, but I'm sorry, the dude sounds and looks white. So I gotta assume
maybe
that
the mom. Did we ever meet the mom? I don't remember.
No, the mom's dead.
No, but do you ever see her like in a picture or something?
No, that's the funny thing. I don't think we ever see Reggie and Otto's mom, even in a picture. I don't think we ever do. They make mention of her, because eventually Raimundo does get married to someone else. But, so they mention her, but no, I don't think we ever see an image of the mom.
Maybe she was something, you know? I could see it.
Oh, she was? No, she has to be, because Reggie and Otto are brown. There's no way the mom wasn't something.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm always... There was that mix of culture. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I like the story of a single father raising their kids together. You know, it's fine.
That's rare, actually. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually it's a mom. Yeah.
But, yeah, those were a bunch of characters that I really... I mean, like I said, nobody here, I think, is a sports fan. We can say that, right? So...
No. You know, it's weird is I watch that show a lot, but I detest skating. And, you know... Skating, skateboarding, all that crap, I just hate the hell out of it. So I can't... Like I said, I watched it because some of the characters were very funny, and I like watching the squid get hurt. So
yeah, I did skating because of this show when it came out. That's like, Mom, I want to learn how to skate. Why? Because of this show. Look at it. It's radical. We said radical.
Well, that was kind of the point. You know that was the point, right? They were basically selling you extreme sports equipment through that show.
And it did. That's the only time I was invested in sports.
Well, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Me personally, I like watching the squid fall all over himself. So that was my muse. Good old squid. Plop.
Yeah, but it had good writing. I mean, maybe not every episode, but there were some solid episodes with like character development and moments.
Yeah, how can you not appreciate good writing like woogity woogity woogity?
I said some episodes.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Also, actually, you know what's funny? It's one of those shows where where they're actual kids voicing the roles as opposed to adults pretending to be kids.
Oh, really?
Here's funny though. Yeah. A lot of I mean, not all of them, of course, but yeah, a lot of the actors were kids. Twister was a kid, and you know how I know this? Because his voice cracked.
Went through puberty.
That actor's. Yeah, that actor's balls dropped during the show because Twister went from this to this, dude, and it's like, whoa, the fuck happened? You know, which is ironic because Twister's seen as the most immature character, so he's the one that hit puberty first. How ironic?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But it's still a good show. And all these shows we're talking about, I have not seen them in years. I mean, like, I'm remembering them from my childhood when I saw them when I was a young teen or whatever. But I would like to see them now. Like,
well, I mean, obviously they're not going to show them anymore. But I mean, usually people post it on YouTube or Dailymotion or something. I'm sure you can find episodes of it. That's how I binged Hey Arnold.
Wait, the whole thing is on YouTube right now?
A lot of shows are. A lot of shows that have passed their prime or just been outright canceled. A lot of people just go to YouTube and upload whole episodes. Or Dailymotion, that's another good one.
Oh, all right. I'll definitely check that
Teaching people how to pirate properly.
Yeah.
Listen and learn, all you podcast listeners.
Yeah. Let me see. Most of the shows were more with anthropomorphic animals, so it's hard to have a what happened in that moment. I mean, like, what happened to the Beaver brothers, right?
They were hunted and killed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's only two ways to go there.
Yeah, though it's funny because they were shot at in a lot of episodes. I guess they just finally got the bullet. But yeah, you're right about that. A lot of Nickelodeon shows are animals, so it's really only fun when you have human kids because you can actually see a future there.
Yeah, I mean, but actually, well, there is one show that actually would be curious. This is not humans, but whatever happened to the trio of real monsters?
Well, after Monsters Inc. after Monsters Inc. ripped them off, you see what's funny is that's what those monsters were training for. They were training to work in a scare factory, and as we all know, the paradigm shifted from scream to laughter, and the Grumble didn't teach them for that.
Yeah, they have worthless degrees now.
Yeah, exactly. The All Real Monsters group of kids that were in school to learn how to, scare, their degrees became about as useful as boobs on a bull. So they had to actually go out into the world and be animals and, hunt and kill for their food, be actual monsters. And then they ended up on shows like Monster Hunter and Ghost Hunters and whatever else is on the Siffy channel.
Ghost harassers, yeah.
The Academy has fallen. It does not have the prestige that it used to.
Well, because there's no point, because monsters have to make kids laugh now instead of scream. So, Ickis is a boob, so, he's already being laughed at. So he's got a part-time laugh job, just showing up and being an asshole like always. Crumb actually got a stellar position at the dump. I don't know what he does exactly, but he seems to use his stink to his advantage.
Actually, I always. Which theory do you like better? That Crumb, grew up to become the Pale Man in Guillermo del Toro's Pan Labyrinth, or that he was related to him?
No, you fool! The Pale Man is Crumb's uncle. The Pale Man is Crumb's European uncle. Get it right.
Fair enough.
Everyone knows this. But Oblina, Oblina. Oblina actually grew up into Elizabeth Hurley. And that's all I got to say about her.
Yeah. Well, that's that's fun. But but like you said, Nickelodeon is mostly animals or monsters, apparently. So it's hard to let's broaden the horizons of what we're going about here. What other iconic shows from our childhood that we enjoy? Let's
live action show. What happened? Clarissa Explains It All. What happened to her?
Well, actually, she went on to do a lot of Disney-related kid stuff, but not much else.
I think that really happened, though.
No, I wasn't kidding. That's what happened to her. Melissa Joan Hart went on to do a bunch of ABC Disney kid stuff, and that's about it.
Yep, that is. Oh, they're bringing that back now. But it's going to be more serious. I don't know if dark, but like.
What? They're redoing Clarissa Explains It All?
Oh, no, not Clarissa. Sorry, Sabrina.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, how do you do that? Who are they gonna get to do it? Like, yeah, who would be the new Clarissa? Let's say they rebooted Clarissa Explains It All. Who do you think would be Clarissa?
I'm pretty sure it would be somebody new. That kind of show that you don't get somebody who's already done something.
$10, it's a no talent hack like Selena Gomez.
No.
So yeah. Selena Explains It All.
I can't hate Selena Gomez, though. She made Hotel Transylvania. I like those movies.
She's not bad, but she does nothing for me as an actor. I'm sorry. Lady, She's a cameo.
Yeah,
at
but
best.
as far as child actors gone wrong, she hasn't really gone wrong. I mean, she's not even.
No, she hasn't fallen off the deep end like, say, Lindsay Lohan or Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
But give her time.
I feel like I don't know if she'll make anything like on that level of good, but I don't think she's going to really go into the other end. She's kind of in the middle, and that's fine.
Well, I mean, whatever end she ends up on. At least as long as she doesn't do Clarissa Explains at all.
I don't think that's going to ever happen. I don't think we'll see it. Well, actually, I'd no longer say they'll never do a reboot of that because I've been proven wrong so many times.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't. Nobody can say those words anymore because if Netflix hasn't already done it, someone will try to make a reboot of whatever it is you're talking about.
Actually, Netflix is rebooting one of my favorite cartoons from childhood, but this is not American. This is actually an anime. But they're doing it.
$20. Oh, you said cartoon. I was going to say, you said anime. All right. You said cartoon. I immediately thought of something, but now you're saying anime.
Well, they did remake Voltron, so...
Let me hazard a guess. Saint Seiya.
Yep.
Ha! I knew it. I know this boy like the back of my
I'm
hand.
curious. I mean, Netflix have yet to make a really... I mean, they've done some weak shows, but nothing that made me go, never touch this,
Oh, Netflix has done some weak shit in the past, but
they've done some good shit, too.
as far as... I was just going to say, Voltron is actually very good. I don't like that they're splitting it up into so many sub-seasons.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But I do like where the story's going. I am interested to see where it's going. I love the animation. I like most of the characters. So, yeah, I trust them when it comes to anime.
Yeah, there's animation, Troll Hunters, Voltron. I'm sure they've done other things, but those are the ones I've watched. And I like them. They have a good track
Oh, they've
record.
done lots of stuff.
So I'll give
getting
their
a lot
Saint
more
Seiya,
database.
a chance.
So, like, unlike other reboots, we can say, we'll give this a shot. We may not like it, but Netflix has enough of a good run to insist that this might be good.
Yeah. I mean, they've done more good than bad. I'll definitely say that for Netflix.
At least they're not calling it Knights of the Zodiac. Fuck that name.
Yeah,
Localization.
I still can't even take that seriously because I found out about like 5 years ago, and it's like, what, that was a thing?
I believe I'm the one that introduced you to that. I think I'm the one that told you, hey, over here, we called it Knights of the Zodiac.
I thought that was like a bad joke until I actually saw a DVD cover somewhere like at the bottom of those like $1 bin shelves.
Oh, no. That's what we did back then. Back in the 90s when we saw anime, we're like, yeah, we got to make this good for Timmy and Tammy American. So that one's name is Tom.
Yeah, we had an interesting exposure when you think about it, because when we saw dubbed anime, they would cut all the adult stuff, no matter how subtle it was.
Well, sure.
But for the American cartoons, it was there. It just, I guess they were clever, or they just sneaked past.
Well, they weren't clever. They just made the guns invisible. Like, remember when Bandit Keith pointed his invisible gun at Pegasus? Wasn't that fun? Or how about all the lollipops in One Piece? That's what they are, lollipops.
I think more of the rap.
Very smoky lollipops. What? My favorite was when that floppy ass son, I don't know, he's one of the mini bosses in one of the first seasons of One Piece. He pops up and goes, "Give me a glass of your finest juice." Yeah, that's what it is. Juice. It is nothing but juice. Fucking 4Kids, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't grow up with 4Kids, thank God, but I always hear horror stories about how you guys, because I experienced my anime pure thing, thankfully.
That's the funny thing, though.
That I like is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Like, I love that it was so funny and so bad.
Okay, but that's the funny thing, though. We hated it back then, and we were embarrassed by it. Now I can't get enough of it. I always look for the 4Kids dubs because they are just genius. They are amazing. Listening to James here, "I want a donut," it's just,
we just couldn't
magical.
appreciate it as kids.
Yeah, and it was a little heartbreaking to hear that some of these characters' names were localized for my convenience. The guy's name is not actually Ash Ketchum.
It is now.
Yeah, it is now. That's the point.
So I mean, some stuff like Ash Ketchum or Joey.
Jesse and
Joey
James. Yeah, Joey Wheeler. No, it's not Joey. It's Wheeler. It's Joey Wheeler. That's how you pronounce it.
Instead of Joe Nucci, I think was the Japanese name.
Timothy Taylor. What?
I think the original Japanese name for him was Joe Nucci.
It was Jonochi, yeah. It's Jonochi and Honda. Jonochi and Honda.
Yeah, I don't even blame them.
But
I would have never stuck with him.
Fuck Honda. He is Tristan Taylor.
Honda, I could see. We have cars like that. Yeah.
Well, that's... Yeah, but come on, man. It's Tristan Timothy Taylor. Oh, and don't forget Serenity. A Japanese name if ever I heard one.
Serenity. Yeah, I mean, that's like Joey and Serenity.
And T. Gardner. Let's not forget T. Gardner.
Yeah,
I thought her name was T.
Yeah.
but yeah, if they did that, why did they leave Seto Kaiba the same, or Yugimoto, or marry freaking
Well,
Ishtar? Yeah?
there's a reason for that. Kaiba's name is all over the show, so it's kind of hard to edit that out. So the name Seto Kaiba shows up in a lot of the show as branding for his company, so kind of hard to edit that. So you have to call him Seto Kaiba.
That's fair. That's fair. But what about the others?
I don't know, Maximilian Pegasus. I somehow doubt, but to be fair, wait, is he white? I forget. Is Maximilian Pegasus a white character? I honestly can't tell.
I think that was actually his name
Dolph
in the
Hale
Japanese. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because now that I remember it, I think Max is white. I think Maximilian Pegasus is a white character.
He's supposed to be.
I know
British
Rebecca
or
is.
French or something.
Yeah, I know Rebecca Hawkins is. The Hawkinses are white, so yeah. At least I think they are.
I guess that's just how the Japanese think white people sound. Hello, Kaiba boy.
Hello, Kaiba boy. But remember, that's not how they did it. That's just how we did it. We made him a floppy Spice Girls loving.
I could be wrong, but I feel like when I heard him in the Japanese dub, he sounded not as over the top, but it sounded similar. So.
Well, I mean, maybe he sounded like this, but I mean, we really pushed it over.
Yeah,
the edge.
we overdid it. But,
Yugi boy.
The foppishness was there already.
Yeah, but to be very fair, I like the foppish. I can't imagine Pegasus without saying boy.
Boy.
Oh, Yugi boy, Kaiba boy, Joey boy, Serenity boy. Oh wait.
Are you a boy? I don't care.
Oh, T boy. And what was your name again? Tristan. I don't care.
You're my boy.
You're not a main
now.
character. Oh, and who can forget Dookie boy?
Oh, Duke, the most useless.
Not a very flattering nickname,
useless
really.
character in Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's saying something.
Even more useless than Tristan. Think about that for a minute.
At least Tristan
Duke
helped
is-
on there. He was emotional support.
Yeah.
He had an arc in the virtual reality thing. He died. He became evil.
And sometimes he did use his muscle to help. Duke
he threw back
did
rings.
nothing. Duke did absolutely nothing except play with dice and be lusted over by the characters that were female.
Only at the beginning. After that, nobody cared about him.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess his sexiness just sort of melted off.
Yeah, remember at the end of the last movie that came out last year when we watched it, remember, Duke ends up being...
don't remind me. Don't remind me of that god-awful piece of shit. I mean, Kaiba breaks the laws of space and time just to play a goddamn card game with a goddamn dead guy over some goddamn grudge that is goddamn inferior to the actual plot of the show, which is about magic monsters invading the world.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I do too.
Oh, man. Don't forget
But
about the
seriously,
elevator to space just so he can arm...
How far is this guy willing to go
I'm
to
just
beat this
wondering,
dude
is
in
he
the card
still-
game?
How rich is he? How can he afford all these?
How much money does Kaiba have?
My...
He's like Scrooge McDuck, only a lot less fluffy.
I'm sure he can actually have a vault full of money to jump into.
And he would survive because his hair looks solid. I imagine that he dove in headfirst
he
to
would
a
survive
bunch of
because
coins.
he's wearing Kaiba Corporation issued outfits, and as he says, when he crushes that can.
Yeah, well, not just that, but the money would probably get out of his way because he's Seto fucking Kaiba, except no substitute.
Melkuba would just watch.
Oh, Mokuba's dead. All his kidnappings finally caught up with him, and he's dead now.
Oh man, that's.
Kaiba wouldn't pay his ransom.
That's a weird show. That's a show that, on paper sounds so ridiculous, and if you see the characters, like, nobody would make this, and even if you did, nobody would like this, but it worked.
On paper it sounds ridiculous, but in real life it also sounds ridiculous. But you know what? You watch it for the hair. All that fabulous, impossible to physics hair.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the only part of the show I was invested in was not even the middle, I think like the second half, which was the Kaiba City tournament. That's when Marrakesher and the Rare Hunters and all that crap. That's the best arc in the show.
Well, that was the last good
moments,
season. I mean, after
gods,
that,
all that shit, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Battle City.
That was
everyone's favorite.
Yeah. That was the last good season. After that, it got all caught up with end of the world stuff, and it just
filler.
It got really bad.
Yeah. You can write essays about how bad the third season
And really,
is.
I know this is a common joke. I know this is a common joke from the fan base, but really, who gives a shit about the card games on motorcycles season? Good God. Did anybody watch that? Did anybody care?
The original. I never even looked at what accumulated.
I was bored, so
I
just
know.
watched what was on Kids WB.
But even to laugh at it. Like, a lot of people watch those kinds of shows just to laugh. Did anybody even watch it? I didn't.
I know fans that like it. I'm just like, I don't get why. I mean, the first one had like its charm, but to repeat it in a different... Like, at this point, we're just making, Friday the 13th Part 10 in space. I mean, and the last Yu-Gi-Oh! I think was in space, so...
Part of it was, definitely. And, like Anthony said, GX was actually pretty goddamn hilarious.
I hear mixed things about GX. I think I maybe saw 2 episodes of, like, the whole school thing. I mean, they're trying to make...
There are only 2 opinions when it comes to GX. People either love it to laugh at it, or they want to kill the people who made it. Those are the only 2 opinions.
I'm probably in the latter, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean... I have to assume that some of the actors knew this was bad. They're like, you know what? We're going to have as much fun as we possibly can with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yu-Gi-Oh! DMX.
Voice actors don't get to pick what the material, but they just, they do the best they can with what they're giving and hope for the best.
They do get to pick their projects, but they don't pick the direction of the show. They just kind of
but
it's
a show that, because it's a big show, it's a big budget, high production. It's going to be.
It's a big dumb show. Yes.
People are. It's hard to not accept a casting of that sort. I mean, it's a harmless show. It's not like.
It's not bad. It's just stupid. I felt stupider after watching some of the episodes.
I've seen more stupid animes than that. I mean, GX at least has a
we all have, dude. Dude, you want to see the worst anime of all time, at least in terms of people's opinion. Not my opinion, the worst, but it's definitely up there. Garcie's Wing.
Garcie's what?
Watch a show called Garcie's Wing. It is the stuff of legends. The dubbing is just incredible. The writing is amazing. It will make you lose hope, but in the best way. It is the grandest of comedies. It is The Room meets anime. It is just...
The Room anime, really?
No, it's not like The Room, but it's on the same level in terms of everything in it is so bad that you can't help but just love the hell out of it.
I wonder if this is in Crunchyroll.
I will be watching that later tonight, then.
If you've ever seen it, there's only a couple episodes. Garcie's Wing. It is incredible, and you have to watch the dub. Nothing else is a substitute.
Yeah,
you have to watch the dub.
Yeah, I'm seeing it has 3 episodes only. Wow, that.
Yes. But they are magical. They are just unbelievable fun. You have to... Garcie's Wing. One of the worst anime ever made, and yet simultaneously one of the best.
Yeah. Is it, like, weird? Like, in Japan weird? Or just bad, like, badly dubbed? Or...
It's Garcie's Wing. That's all I can say.
Have to watch to find out.
I shall.
Anybody listening... Anybody who knows it and is listening to this, they will know exactly what I'm talking about when I just say the name.
I shall watch this.
But yes.
I think it's even on YouTube. I can see a link there.
Oh, yeah. No one's going to copyright that. No one cares. Oh, no. My most valuable IP, Garcie's Wing. No!
Well, let's, since we're still in the subject of anime, one last thing to cover that. What was your favorite anime growing up? I mean, I already said mine was Saint Seiya, but what about you, Paul?
Oh, you already know the answer to that.
They don't.
It's the cow to the bee, to the boy, to the bebop, to the bebop. Cowboy Bebop. I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboy Bebop to me is the perfect amalgamation of East meets West. It's, it's a Western, it's a noir, it's got hilarious characters, it's got dark stories, it's got very, very enjoyable team. If you like Guardians, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll like this show.
I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody listening to this has seen or at least heard of Cowboy Bebop by now.
It's a legendary show. I mean, it's considered one of the best dubbed of all time. It's considered one of the best of all time. It's a great sci-fi. It's an awesome character list. It's just everything about it is pure excellence. I can't.
Yeah,
I
don't care who you are. It must be in your top 5, at least top 10 anime ever.
Or you can at least respect it.
Yeah. So it's one of those.
Plus, it gave us Radical Edward.
And the music, oh man!
But anyway,
I still listen to the soundtrack.
What about you?
See,
what about you, Anthony?
Stuck with me the most. One thing I really liked was Last Exile.
Right.
Like that to me, I would stay up late watching that back when Tech TV was still a thing, when they still showed anime. And I really liked.
I remember Tech TV. I remember that.
Really
that was a
the
long
art
time
style.
ago.
I really like the characters and just the whole theme of it. It's a steampunk universe where everyone lives on.
Oh.
Where they live in the skies and fly van ships. It's just so much fun. It's definitely got a place in my heart.
You had me with steampunk. I think I got to check this out.
Yeah, Last Exile. It's really good. Has some of my favorite anime voice actors in it.
Oh, it's not as old as I thought, but it looks nice.
Well, as long as we're talking about that, I think I'm going to get off this podcast right now and go watch that show because it sounds stupendous. As usual, I'm your host talking about Hey Arnold and how everyone dies, starbeastrave. And these are my cohorts who are listening to how all these guys die. This is Anthony, also known as Demon with Too Many Grocery Stores.
Bye, y'all.
And over there is a lake with too many sevens.
Thank you for joining us as always. Remember to follow, like, subscribe, watch your projects at DC Bridge and Frontier Zero, and join us next week for another session of Wicked Chats.
Also known as Where the Talks Are Made Up and the Points Don't Matter.
Nostalgia for everybody.
Woo!
Thank you, and good night.